Football or association football is developed sport in the Philippines, played by amateur and professional Filipino clubs. Football is the governing of international football in the country, dating back to more than 100 years ago when Paulino Alcantara Diestra became the first Filipino and Asian player to play for European club. He made his first appearance in the sport as a striker at the age of 15 at Barcelona, which made him the club youngest and second highest goal scorer behind Lionel Messi. It means sa edad na 15, nagkaroon siya ng pangalan pagdating sa football. The first football team began to form including the Manila Sporting Club. 1906 was an association football club based in Manila, and the Sandow Athletic Club in 1909 was a sport club in the Philippines. Bohemian Sporting Club in 1910 was a football club based in Manila. In the years that follow, ang Philippines sumali sa international competition. The national football team became a representative of men international football for the Philippines, so they won the Far Eastern Games once in 1913. In 2012 to 2013, became a two-time Philippine Peace Cup champion and women national football team. Ni-represent naman nila yung women national football in the Philippines, achieved a third place bronze finish at 1985 Southeast Asian Games. The Philippines participate at the Far Eastern Championship Games. The first edition was in 1913 and the last is 1934. The national team routinely faced Japan and China, and one edition the Dutch East Indies. At the games, the Philippines won over China and the inaugural tournament with scoreline of 2-1. During the 1917 edition, the national team achieved its biggest win in international football, led by Filipino-Spanish icon Paulino Alcantara. The national squad participated at the 1940 East Asian Games organized to commemorate the 2600th anniversary foundation of the Empire of Japan by Emperor Jimmu. In 1950s, the Philippines hosts a friendly international-based tournament. However, the national team experienced lack of funding and barely received any coverage from the media. During that time, talent from the national team were drawn from the Manila Football League, which received substantial support from the Chinese-Filipino community. In the early 60s, the Philippines Football Association partnered with the San Miguel Corporation to seek foreign assistance to train local football players and coaches and to develop the sport in the country. Coaches from the United Kingdom, Alan Rogers and Brian Birch, for a short stint after two were relieved. Danny McClelland and Graham Adam continued their task. In 1961, seeking give blood to the sport, San Miguel Corporation through the National Football Association brought in four medical students from Spain who were expert in football: Francisco Escarte, Enrique de la Mata, Claudia Sanchez, and Juan Cutillas. However, Escarte and de la Mata left the country after 1 year. In 1971, head coach Juan Cutillas recruited 5 foreign players to play for the national team, 4 Spaniards and 1 Chinese. The national team joined several international competitions such as Merdeka Tournament, Jakarta Anniversary Tournament, and the President Park Tournament. The team caused some absent result against the national team of Thailand, Singapore, and South Korea. The national team under German head coach Eckhard Kraus soon finished fourth overall at the 1991 Southeast Asian Games, its best ever finish at the tournament. The Philippines dealt a 1-0 defeat to defending championship Malaysia at the tournament, which knocked out the latter out of the tournament at just the group stage. Norman Fegidero scored the sole goal for the Philippines. The Philippines failed to qualify for any major competition in 2008. They missed out on the 2008 AFC Challenge Cup only on goal difference, and the 2008 AFF Suzuki Cup with an interior goal score record. Dan Palami, businessman and sport patron, was appointed as team manager of the national team in 2009 by the Philippine Football Federation, but still the national team received minimal support from the government. Facility. The field of play is simply the surface where the soccer game is played. Regulation determine the surface size marking of the field as well as goal position, size, and contraction. The field of play is rectangular and marked with line, called boundary line, and the boundary line in football are the lines on the field that separate the field of play from out of the bounds areas. The two longer boundary lines are touch line and two shorter lines are goal lines, and it's divided into two halves by halfway line, which join the midpoint and the two touch line. The center line, ito yung midpoint of the halfway line, are made of the field of play 9.15 meters from the corner arc, and their height angles to the goal line and touch line. Ang official field size can range from 100 yards wide by 100 to 130 yards long para sa mga human at sa mga players with disability, and for players under 16 and over 35 years of age, ina-allow na bawasin yung soccer field size. The size of the youth field should be based on the size of the step on the length of kick of each group relative to adults. For example, 14 years old step is about 100% that of an adult, then the field size should be 60 yards by 100 yards. So makikita nyo sa screen yung kung ilan yung size ng fields based on the age. Ball. Ang ball, ito yung made of leather and naka-proper size siya. It must be 27 to 27.5 inches, 68 to 70 centimeter in circumference, and 14.5 to 16 ounce. 410 to 450 grams in weight. Pero may different size yung ball in different age o sa mga younger players. Ito yung size 3, 4, and 5. Ang size 3 ay ginagamit under 8 years old. Sa size 4 naman sa player 10 to 12 years old, and sa mga 13 and older use a size 5 ball. First is jersey or shirt with sleeve. A player number ay usually makikita natin nakapin on the back of the shirt. Siyempre, yung short, kailangan din yan. And sock, makikita natin yung mga footballers na nakasuot sila ng long sock to cover and the trap the chin guard to the lower. Chin guard to prevent injuries and other unwanted problems on the field. Shoes. Sa football, ang shoes na meron sila is meron siyang spike to prevent from the slipping on the grass help to run. And gloves, ito yung ginagamit ng golf keeper to protect their hands to catch a ball. Goal is a frame at either end of the soccer field consisting of two vertical goal posts. Football flag posts must not be less than 1.5 meters or 5 feet high. Each of the four flag posts should have non-pointed top and one flag must get placed at each corner on the pitch.